Let me introduce us. I'm Kathy. This is Heather, my daughter. We own the Knot House in Frederick, Maryland.
So welcome to our special edition podcast. Today's podcast is special because we're going to talk about Rhinebeck and the Indie Untangled trunk show that is held at Rhinebeck the Friday night before the Rhinebeck Festival. So every year, the Knot House, well, not every year, I guess the past couple of years, we've been. How do we explain what Indie Untangled is?
It is a website that features new indie dyers.
Well, indie crafters too, right? Because it's not just
too.
dyers, right?
Crafters too.
Right. So Lisa Chamoff is the one that started Indie Untangled. She's in New York, and she basically started this website for indie crafters. The majority of it is yarn dyers to kind of post their yarns, talk about themselves, talk about their updates, what they're going to put in their Etsy shops, that kind of thing. So
I think originally it started as a place to keep up with updates.
Yeah, right. And to be honest, that's one of the ways that we found some of the yarns that we carry today here in the Knot House. So that being said, we became friends with Lisa, and she comes to our pop-up event that we have in May, and when we can get away from the shop, we go to the Rhinebeck event. And so we're just mutually support each other that way. So this is our first podcast. Usually we do a write-up and kind of talk about ourselves in the write-up, but she said that this year we could do a podcast, and she would post the podcast. So let's talk about the trunk show. So the trunk show is held on Friday night, October 20th, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I believe the VIP or the early bird starts at 4. There were some tickets. Was there 100 tickets, Mom? Do you know how many?
140.
140 tickets that were
sold out in like less than 15 minutes.
So they get an hour before the regular doors open.
And they get a goodie bag.
They get a goodie bag.
Of which we contribute to.
Yep, we do. Do you have our little thing? Did you bring it over so we can show it?
I can go get it.
Okay. This year we're doing a keychain with the Kitchener stitch instructions on the back of it. I think you got that at TNA. Did Cat Wrinkles?
They did it for us.
Do this for us?
Yes, but I did not get it at TNA. I saw it.
Right. So this is our little lady head emblem, although it doesn't really, well, I guess if you have a good imagination and you know our lady head, you can see it.
You can see her face.
Yeah, you can see her face. You can see her face over here. Whoops, backwards. Oop, find the face. And then the instructions for the Kitchener stitch on the back of it. So this, if you are a VIP participant, that'll be in the goodie bag.
And we will also have those at the shop.
Yep.
Our shop.
So it's a big event. I've only been to one of the trunk shows. That was I think that was the first year that we were open, that I was able to make it, and it was crazy. I remember not being down there right when the doors opened and thinking that I could go down later and check out some of the yarns, and everybody was pretty much sold out. How us crazy knitters are about hand-dyed yarns. So it's basically what it features is a lot of the indie crafters. The majority is hand-dyed yarns, along with some other things like bags and stitch markers, some pattern support, people that are, their primary design is, their primary focus is design. So I'll just list through some of the people that are going to be there quickly. There's a long list. I think there's 29 vendors. So let's see. Astral Bath Yarns is going to be there. I think she's been there almost every year. Asylum Fibers. Designs by Laura Ayler. She's a designer out of Virginia. Backyard Fiber Works.
Let me just interject. We're going to have a trunk show with Backyard with Alice.
October 14th.
October 14th.
Yep. Bare Naked Wools. Cannon Hand Dyes. Cannon Hand Dyes has participated in one of our pop-up shops, or actually the last one. It looks like Chai Goo. Crave Yarn. Crave Yarn's going to be there with Yarn Culture. Dark Harbor Yarn, also going to be there. Well, actually, that's actually going to be with Indie Untangled with Lisa. So there's a couple of these that I guess they're sending their yarns to Lisa because they're far away and they couldn't come to the event. So they send their yarn to Lisa and then she sells it for them. So, okay. Duck Duck Wool. I think Sandra from Duck Duck Wool, I think she's participated almost every time also. The Farmer's Daughter, she's going to be there. She's sending her yarn to Lisa to sell. Last year we had Farmer's Daughter at our pop-up in May. Gigi Bowen, is it Gigi or Gigi? Gigi Bowen, hand-dyed yarns will be there. Huloku will be there. The Knitting Vortex, she's sending her yarn to Lisa. The Lemonade Shop, which if we were going, I would really like to see the Lemonade Shop. That's hand-dyed yarn. Little Fox Yarn, Little Fox, which we carry here at the Knot House. Magpie Fibers, also another yarn that we carry here at the Knot House. Middlebrook Fiber Works. Actually, let me go back. Magpie Fibers is from Frederick, Maryland. So, Middlebrook Fiber Works. And Molly Girl Yarn. It's another one I wouldn't mind looking at. Laura Nelkin Designs. Laura Nelkin's known for her pretty beadwork,
yes,
right, on all of her designs.
Yes.
So
Jewelry.
I think she's new. She's not. I don't think she's been there at previous years. One Geek to Craft Them All. That's going to be stitch markers. Rosy Green Wool. Skeiny Dipping was also at our pop-up shop last year. Spun Right Round, which we carry and was at our pop-up last year. That Clever Clementine, Miss Vicky, she does beautiful bags in all sizes, from small little tchotchke bags to bigger project bags.
And has great yarn bowls that are done out of fabric.
Right, and she's a great supporter of us too, and
Indie Untangled.
And Indie Untangled, and has been at our pop-up every year that we've had it. Let's see, Tuscan Knits, which is a designer pattern company. Vivid Fiber Arts, which looks like it's hand-dyed gradients. Volan Vine, which I'm sure everybody's heard of Volan Vine. It's a popular hand-dyed yarn. Wouldn't mind seeing Volan Vine either if we get to go. And then White Birch Fiber Arts, which is a self-striping sock yarn. And they were here last year for our pop-up. And let's see, then there's a couple of specials. There's some exclusive colorways that are going to be there from Gauge Dye Works, Julie Osselin, and La Bien-Aimée. So I'm sure those are pretty. And I think
you have to pre-order those.
Do you?
I think you pre-order those and pick them up there.
I didn't read up on that.
I did.
I do think that Lisa has some of this information and some of the color works posted in some posts on her website, and some more information. So let me just tell you what the website is in case this is the first time you've heard of it. It's indieuntangled.com is her website. And then I think she also has a Ravelry group, right? We looked that up.
Yes,
and she's got a Ravelry group.
And a thread about the
trunk show there too. So yeah, so it's a good time. It's a good way, because these people don't participate at the Rhinebeck event itself on the weekend. They're just there for this night Friday before. Oh, and I should say that it is going to be at the Best Western Plus, which is at 503 Washington Avenue, Kensington, New York. So, and I'll have that, printed here on the bottom of the screen too. So you can write that down. If you're going to Rhinebeck and you didn't know about the event, maybe you can leave a little bit early to go. So, like I said, if you can't make it to the event, we carry some of these yarns that'll be there, and we have an online shop, and you can check those out on our online store. You can find us on the online store at knothousyarns.com, and then we also have some yarns that aren't going to be here that Mom wants to talk about or mention that are also fabulous hand-dyed yarns. So Mom, why don't you just rattle those off real quick?
All right, I will. So we carry Julie Oslin that is doing a special colorway. She's from Canada and just a delight, and her yarn's fabulous. Black Trillium Fibers, which is from Oregon. Madeline Tosh, which I'm sure everybody knows. Shalimar. We also have Kettle yarn, which is from London. We got to meet Linda when we were in Edinburgh last year, of which
we're not going there.
I was just going to say that I was going to.
I know you're going to go. Mom's going to go to Edinburgh again.
Hello Stella, which is from Canada.
Hello Stella, we just got in this past week, and I want to say that she is a new hand dyer. We are the first shop to have her yarn. I think she did a trunk show this past weekend. It was her first trunk show.
And I hope she did well.
Yeah, and her yarn, she did a great job. What did we get, like 20 colors or something? I think all of our regulars went crazy over it today. So it's also on our website, and the colors are all posted, so you can check that out.
Swift from New York, which was at our pop-up shop last year. Mm-hmm. She's relatively new. And then we also have Western Sky that we have stocked now for about 3 years, and she also does a great job. Yes. Her colors are just fabulous, and we can't keep her in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gotten to where we just order when we get an order.
Yeah.
Because it's gone that fast.
Yeah.
So that's who we have all the time.
Yeah. So if you're watching this for the first time, again, if you're a lover of hand-dyed yarns, that's really what this podcast is about. That's what our shop is about.
It's what Indy Untangled's about.
It's what Indy Untangled's about. It's what the trunk show there at Rhinebeck is about Friday night. And I wanted to take a minute to talk about the event that we have that's similar to the Indy Untangled event. We have it for Maryland Sheep and Wool, which, what did we say those dates are, Mom? I think I wrote them down.
You did.
Yeah, May 4th this year, or this coming year for 2018, it's May 4th, 5th, and 6th. So we run that event concurrently with Maryland Sheep and Wool with their event, but it's here at our shop, and we're about 35 minutes from the fairgrounds, and we have people that aren't vending at the Maryland Sheep and Wool event, and so you want to talk a little bit about what we do?
We have 8 to 10 hand dyers that are not at Maryland Sheep and Wool. Most of them are here in the shop. Sometimes they're not. They just send their yarn. Friday night last year was quite a party. This year, I think we're going to do something a little different Friday night. We'll have more details on that later. We also will have more details on our lineup.
Yeah, because we're working on that now, trying to get all those people lined up.
We have a few that we know are going to be back, but we're not going to spoil that now with that.
Yeah.
And then we're open early on Saturday. Last year it was 9 to 9. We may open at 8 this year. The fairgrounds are going to be open earlier, so we may open earlier. And then Sunday, I want to say it was 10 to 6. So, but it's a good time. It's a good time. The hand dyers are definitely, the ones that are going to be here will be here on Friday night. And a lot of them are around on Saturday and Sunday too. So it gives you a chance to meet them, talk to them, where you feel like you kind of know who it is you're knitting with.
Yeah, and it gives the people that go to Maryland Sheep and Wool, they can do both. They can go to Maryland Sheep and Wool, and they can come visit us. And I know one year the weather was really bad, and it was raining, and it was just a mess at Maryland Sheep and Wool. And that allowed people. It
didn't rain in here.
Right, it wasn't raining in our shop, but it allowed people that come from out of town to come to our shop and then wait till the rain had held off and then go back to the fairgrounds after that. So it's a good thing, and every year it grows and we get busier and try to figure out how we're going to manage the crowd, and so we've got a little bit of planning to do for that.
We appreciate you watching.
Yeah, we appreciate you watching. If this is the first time that you've seen us, again, I'm Heather. This is my mom, Kathy. We're the owners of the Knot House in Frederick, Maryland, or as we've been saying lately, little old Frederick, because it's a small town, and we've got a special yarn shop in that we basically just have hand-dyed yarns, and we do this podcast on a pretty regular basis every 3 to 4 weeks, where we kind of go over the things that we're working on, the things that we finished, new yarns that we've gotten in. Mom and I banter back and forth a little bit more than what we're doing right now. So hopefully you'll tune into that if this is your first time watching us, and if you see us and we get to go to Rhinebeck, we're not sure if we're going to be there. We've got a little situation covering the shop that we're trying to resolve.
Situation we always have covering the shop.
Yeah, it's when our employees want to go to Rhinebeck, we can't tell them not to go to Rhinebeck. So it kind of leaves us in a little bit of a bind about going. So, but we'll figure it out. And if you see us there, feel free to stop and say hi, and we'd be glad to meet you. And again, you can find us at www.knothousyarns.com. We are on Instagram as Knot House Yarns, and we are on Ravelry as Knot House Yarns, right? I always get that one messed up.
The Knot House.
The Knot House. The Knot House, not Knot House Yarns on Ravelry. So anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you in Rhinebeck. Bye.
Thank you.